At that very moment, beads of sweat started rolling down Kim's forehead. He was visibly shaking. "Wait, Sword Saint, you know what a single hit from you can do, right?" Kim stammered, his eyes wide. Sword Saint released an intense killing aura. "If you've got the guts, dodge it. If you can't, well, you already know the consequences." Kim took a deep breath, clearly trying to hold himself together. "I don't believe you'd let me go with just one hit," he said. "And I know very well that one hit from you could end my life." Trying to buy some time, Kim quickly added, "Wait a minute. Just give me a moment, I'll go and bring the sword back." Sword Saint dismissed with a grin. "That's why I said I'd hit you just once. If you had really sold it, you wouldn't even be standing here talking to me." Just as Sword Saint's fist started to move, Kim's expression changed completely. Panic was written all over his face. But suddenly, in an unexpected twist, Kim threw his own punch to clash with Sword Saint's. A huge shockwave followed. The pressure released from the clash was immense. Sword Saint looked genuinely surprised. Did he really block it? He thought. Kim, meanwhile, instantly dropped into dramatic mode. "Ah! My hand, it's broken. I swear it's broken." But Sword Saint wasn't buying it. His eyes narrowed as he analyzed Kim. "That hand looks perfectly fine. How did he even manage a hand-to-hand block? If it were anyone else, their arm wouldn't just break, it'd be obliterated." Still confused, Sword Saint began powering up again. "Listen to me," he growled. Kim's expression went stiff again. "You said one punch. If you hit me again, I swear I won't be able to block it this time." And with that, Kim bolted. "All right, I am going outside to get some fresh air," he called behind him, already halfway out the door. "Magic Saint, Sword Saint, you guys can have a nice little chat." Shen called after him, "Wait. Take me with you." Mutual followed suit, trailing behind them. With the trio gone, an eerie quietly settled over the place. Sword Saint turned to Magic Saint. "You've really gotten old," he said bluntly. "I also noticed how much you re-holding back your powers." Magic Saint replied calmly, "Even if I died here, what difference would it make?" Sword Saint raised an eyebrow. "Be honest, do you hate that young guy?" Magic Saint chuckled. "What are you talking about now? Give me a chance, I'll kill him myself right here." "Are you sure about that?" Magic Saint asked, grinning. "Or is this because Shen clearly favors him?" Sword Saint waved him off. Fine. Let's put those little things aside." He changed the subject. "First, tell me, what exactly happened in that dungeon?" Magic Saint's tone turned serious. "The Apostle of Tempest was spotted in the 10th dungeon. And when I tried to dig deeper into the Order of Truth, mutants started appearing inside the dungeon." Sword Saint listened carefully. "So, in the end, that punk killed it, who?" He was clearly referring to Kim. "Yes," Magic Saint said. "As you saw for yourself." Sword Saint reflected silently. "When I fought him recently, he didn't seem all that skilled. You still don't acknowledge him, do you?" Magic Saint said. "You right," Sword Saint admitted. "Even if he's skilled, I won't acknowledge him." Magic Saint didn't seem surprised. "You still distrust the new generation of pro hunters, don't you?" "That's exactly my point," Sword Saint said. "Even if he were an S-rank hunter, I tested him myself, and the result was the same." Magic Saint abandoned. "I used to think the same way." The story then cuts to a broader perspective, reflecting on the mindset of both Sword Saint and Magic Saint. Both once stood as pillars of the ideal era, but now, the new age of pro hunters revolves around fame and fortune. Today's hunters believe this era is peaceful, but the world is far from safe. When the old heroes disappear completely, will these new hunters be able to face the monsters that once threatened the world? No one knows for sure. But perhaps that's exactly the goal of the Order of Truth. Back in the conversation, Magic Saint said to Sword Saint, "We can't change anything now. Our era is over." Sword Saint looked at him quietly. "So what are you trying to say?" Magic Saint just laughed. "Time has passed, old friend. That's all." As the scene shifted, we see someone approaching from a distance. Shen, Mutual, and Kim all stop in their tracks, their eyes wide with shock. Something, or someone, was coming. And it wasn't just anyone. After that, we see that the person approaching is none other than Shen. Please forgive me if I pronounce some names incorrectly. These names are so common, I sometimes confuse myself too. Anyway, let's continue. As soon as Shen sees Sun Mutual, she runs to him and hugs him tightly, tears of joy streaming down her face. And Mutual? He turns to Kim and says with heartfelt gratitude, Kim, thank you so much for saving my life. Kim, ever the humble hero, waves it off and replies, oh, come on now, we're friends, aren't we? In his mind, though, Kim reflects, the best time in this world is when everything falls perfectly into place, at the right time and in the right way. Kim then tells us that after some time passed, he and Mutual left the place, and everyone else went back to doing their original work. But of course, not everything in the world changes. Some things, it seems, stay the same no matter what. Somewhere else, Suyok is seen saying with determination, I'll definitely do it. Kim explains that Magic Saint had accepted Sun as his disciple, and, just as Magic Saint had promised, he gave Kim 10 billion. That's right. 10 trillion. Jackpot. Kim, still in disbelief, asks, you really giving me 10 billion? Magic Saint looks at him and replies, didn't I already tell you? My life isn't that cheap. Besides, now that I am returning to normal society, I don't have any burdens anymore. Kim can't help but make a weird face at this. Then he explains, I used 500 million to pay off the debt I took for the Azura Dragon Sword. After paying that off, I got the sword back and returned it to Sword Saint. And with all these actions, Kim's progress rate shot up by 47.3%. He looks at his stats and mutters, I didn't even mean to increase my progress rate, but with how things unfolded, it just happened. Oh, and the best part? He still had 9.5 billion left. Not bad for a week's work. Next, we find Kim walking back into the academy. Lee Minhyul greets him with excitement. Dude, you'd finally back. Kim, raising an eyebrow, asks, were you actually worried about me at all? You didn't even visit me at the hospital. Minhyul quickly defends himself, no. Of course, I was worried. But Shen told me you were doing fine, so I figured there was no need to visit. I knew you would recover fast, you are my awesome friend, after all. Kim chuckles. All right, keep doing whatever it is you do. Just then, Shen suddenly appears and says, oh, so you two are here. Kim turns to her and asks, what's up? Is something wrong? Without skipping a beat, Minhyul dashes over to Shen and shows her a piece of paper. Pointing at it excitedly, he says, look. I want a weapon just like this. Can you find something similar for me? Shen nods, sure, no problem. Don't worry, I'll get it. Meanwhile, in the corner, Kim is busy half listening to their conversation while casually completing his daily missions. He mutters to himself, no matter how much everything changes around me, one thing always stays the same, I've got to keep grinding inside Dream Academy. Then he adds, but first, let's see if this mission even counted or not. Looking around at the academy, he smiles and says, this Dream Academy, it really is starting to feel like home. And with that, we get a little time skip. After that, we see Kim giving a lecture on Hercules. In the lecture, Hercules himself asks, have you ever wondered why I mentioned God power in today's lecture? He goes on to explain that many students seem to have suddenly realized what God power really means in real life. Anyone who has used God power would have noticed their progress rate skyrocketing. But here's the catch, there's no need to get too emotional or excited just yet. Because first and foremost, he's going to teach them exactly what God power is all about. By now, students probably already know what they are supposed to learn from this lecture, which is why their progress rates are increasing so quickly. Then, Hercules' tone sharpens, and he gets a bit angry. He says, I am pretty sure many of you are now thinking that you don't even need to attend lectures anymore, or that there's no point in increasing your progress rate. He shakes his head and says, that kind of thinking is nonsense. God power is a fantastic source of strength, but if you want to utilize that power fully, you'll have to work hard on your muscles. Yes, build them up properly. He pauses, raising his voice for emphasis. If you don't train your body to the right level, you'll never truly experience God power. And that's exactly what this lecture is about, explaining the role muscles play in all this. Hercules stresses that to absorb God power, you need a strong body, physically and mentally. With that, the real lecture begins. Meanwhile, Kim watches the lecture and thinks to himself, okay, so basically, if I don't train my body properly, I won't be able to use God power. Got it. He then realizes he's completed 47.3% of Hercules' lecture, which means he's already finished his daily task for the day, much faster than expected. Kim smiles and says, nice. I've got a lot of free time now. No way I am wasting it, I am going to use it productively. He decides to buy some lectures for himself since, well, he does have plenty of money left. Then, an idea pops into Kim's head. He wonders if he should get something called Axiola. He explains it as a device or tool that significantly enhances the body and boosts strength. He confidently says, with this much power, I'll soon be able to lift Gunner's spear with just my mind. And here's the best part, there's a store called Transient Store that has no shortage of Axiolas. So, Kim figures his mana will never run out. After that, we get a brief introduction to some other items available in the store. There were all kinds of things available, purification oil, fresheners, and many more. Kim took a moment to seriously think about all these items. Then, he said to himself, all right, let's put these aside for now. The first thing I need is a good lecture for myself. Because recently, his body hadn't been able to absorb Axiola properly. Even though he had Marlin's lecture, it only helped him with mana cultivation, but understanding mana from that lecture was a bit tricky. If Kim wanted to fully absorb the power of Axiola, he needed a solid understanding of mana cultivation. And when he was talking about lectures, he had to learn as quickly as possible. Next, we see Kim messaging his mentor. In the message, he says, Mentor, I've got plenty of free time now. Can you recommend a good lecture for mana cultivation? Kim then thinks, this reply is going to take at least a week, just like he said. But then, surprisingly, the mentor responds quickly. He says, if you want to take a lecture, you can choose either mana cultivation or chi cultivation. If you learn chi cultivation, you'll be able to manage safety measures better. But if you want to learn mana cultivation, you'll need efficiency. The mentor continues, for chi cultivation, Zhong Sanfeng and Lu Dongbin are great options. If you want mana cultivation, you can check out lectures by Author or Siegfried. But before you decide, I'd recommend watching a sample lecture from them. Kim reads all this and thinks, okay, so these options keep changing. No big deal. He decides, first, I'll check their prices and see what fits my budget. The scene shifts to Shen standing with her hand pressed firmly on her forehead, clearly frustrated. She snapped sharply, so now you are back asking for money again? Did you come to me just to find out if there's some contest going on these days or not? Meanwhile, Kim sat there looking like a poor, helpless pauper. Hearing all this, Kim's fear level shot up instantly. Shen's voice grew even more intense as she demanded, Kim, answer me honestly, where on earth are you spending all this money? How do you even need this much cash? Tell me straight, are you keeping some kind of monster that eats money? Because it feels like your money just evaporates into thin air like water. Now, we get a glimpse into why Kim's been burning through cash so fast. It turns out the mentor's recommended lectures cost a staggering 10 billion. Kim hurried to reassure her, no, it's not like that. But inside, he was thinking, man, I need 10 billion just for registration alone, and I am short by 500 million. Shen, trying to be practical, said, all right, fine. There's going to be a contest soon anyway. Kim didn't waste any time. Without even asking when it would be, he blurted out, first, tell me the prize money. Shen responded, it's not that much, just 3 billion. Hearing that, Kim's face lit up with excitement. He only needed 500 million, but now there was a chance to win 3 billion. But then Shen dropped a bombshell, there's one problem. You can only participate as a team. And your team needs at least 3 members. Kim's smile faded instantly. He thought, this could be a big problem. He knew that in the Dream Hunter Academy, there were only 2 people, as him and Lee Minuel. Sure, the 2 of them together could easily win the contest, but the rules clearly said 3 members were required. Kim looked at Shen and asked, first, tell me, does anyone want to join the Dream Hunter Academy right now? Anyone at all? Shen froze, caught completely off guard by the question. Her eyes widened in shock as she whispered, do you really think so? Kim quickly apologized, rubbing the back of his neck awkwardly. Sorry, didn't mean to put you on the spot. But inside, Kim was already thinking hard. They didn't just need any random person, they needed someone trustworthy. Someone reliable. A teammate they could count on without any surprises. This thought made Kim even more anxious. Is there really anyone out there we can trust? We need one solid member for the team, someone who won't cause problems, someone dependable. Yet, oddly enough, nobody at the Dream Hunter Academy wanted to join. Not a single soul showed interest. Just when Kim was about to lose hope, an image suddenly flashed in his mind. The face of someone familiar, Suyo. A small grin crept onto Kim's face as he turned to Shun and said confidently, I think I've already found our third member. Kim turned to Shun and asked carefully, so, if Suyo wanted to evolve within the Dream Hunter Academy, would you say no? Shun's expression turned serious, her eyes narrowing slightly. Are you saying you want Suyo to participate in the contest? Kim sat firmly. Exactly. I want to bring Suyo along for the contest. We need that kind of power. But Shun immediately shook her head. No, you absolutely can't do that. She took a deep breath and explained, Suyo is disabled by Magic Saint now. I am not saying it would be a bad thing if he joined our Dream Hunter Academy, it would actually be great. But entering him in the contest under the Academy? That's a completely different matter. It just wouldn't be right. Kim frowned, trying to understand. I am not asking to do this just for one contest, he said. There's another reason behind it. Before Shun could respond, the scene shifted. Suddenly, we see the majestic Taj Mahal, but this isn't just any place, this is Magic Saint's domain. Inside, a man approaches Kim and says, please wait here for a couple of minutes. Magic Saint will be with you shortly. Kim sat down on a plush sofa, remarking to himself, well, this is surprising. One call from me and Magic Saint fixed the appointment so quickly. And this sofa is surprisingly comfortable. Just then, a voice called out from behind, who are you? Kim turned to see none other than Magic Saint himself, stepping into the room. It's been a long time since we last met, Magic Saint said calmly. He looked directly at Kim and asked, now tell me, why exactly do you need me? Kim looked at Magic Saint and said, I am guessing your health still isn't back to 100%, huh? Magic Saint chuckled lightly and replied, you're right, it's not the best yet. Kim smiled and said, feels like we met just the other day, right Magic Saint? Magic Saint declined and agreed, yeah, not the best timing, but here we are. Without wasting time, Kim got straight to the point. So tell me, how's Suyo doing? Magic Saint's expression softened. She's doing pretty well. I think she's already trying to demonstrate elemental magic. Hearing that, Kim's eyes widened in surprise and excitement. Elemental magic? Wait, she's only been here 2 days and already started working on elemental magic? That's fast. Kim then explained, usually, when someone tries to learn the mana proficiency for the first time, it takes at least 3 weeks. Magic Saint smiled knowingly, you know, when I saw Suyo do it, I was pretty shocked too. She learned mana proficiency properly in just half a day. Kim's jaw dropped. Half a day? No way. Magic Saint laughed and said, believe me, I was just as surprised. I couldn't believe it myself. Even my other disabled one, Jimin, took a whole day to learn mana proficiency. Kim grinned, looks like Suyo's setting a new speed record here. At this rate, she might just make the rest of us look like amateurs. Magic Saint nodded, exactly. If she keeps this pace, we'll all be chasing her shadow soon enough. Kim chuckled, well, guess I better keep up. No slacking off now. Magic Saint said, honestly, I never thought I'd come face to face with a hidden magic stone like this. And you know what? I've already decided, whatever little time I have left in this life, I am going to train these kids properly. After finishing that thought, Magic Saint looked at Kim and asked, so, tell me, why exactly did you come here? Kim's mind starts racing with worry. He muttered under his breath, man, I'm already struggling to even say it out loud. But then, summoning all his courage, Kim laid everything out for Magic Saint, all the struggles, the challenges, and the situation they were in. Magic Saint thoughtfully and said, all right, so you need Shun. Then Magic Saint added, and she's disabled. Not somewhere far away, but right inside Shun's Hunter Academy. Hearing that, Magic Saint was genuinely surprised. Wow, I didn't expect that at all. Kim went on, the Dark Saint keeps a really low profile. They don't want the Order of Truth to find out about their disabled members. That's why they don't meet their disabled directly. Instead, they pass on messages through me, and I relay them to Lee Minul. Magic Saint listened carefully, then Kim said, don't you think the Order of Truth is already watching you? And aren't you worried about Suyo? She's just a student now, but what if later the Order of Truth starts targeting her too? Magic Saint's eyes narrowed, showing a flicker of concern. That's a valid point. The Order of Truth doesn't miss much. We have to be extra careful. Kim sighed, yeah, we can't afford to slip up. Not now. Magic Saint replied, but if I stay with Suyo, the Order of Truth will never find out about me. And because of that, they'd never dare mess with Suyo either. Then Magic Saint asked, so, you want to enroll Suyo in the same academy where you study? Kim nodded eagerly, yes, exactly that. But there's just one problem, the time you have to train Suyo will be a bit shorter than usual. I hope you never overlook her safety. In his mind, Kim was thinking, Suyo is like my little sister, Manuel's daughter. I was already planning to propose this idea to her. Magic Saint smiled and said, all right then, the Dark Saint is doing the same. Look, I don't have much time left, but I can't ignore Suyo's safety either. Hearing that, Kim's face lit up. He said, so you agree, right? Magic Saint firmly, yes, I agree. Besides, I can't keep her as my disabled for too long. If Suyo fights, she'll gain experience. Fighting experience is training too, after all. Soon, both Suyo and Kim arrived at the Dream Hunter Academy. Seeing Suyo, Shun's face brightened with joy. Shun said, Suyo, I'm really happy you're here. Lee Minul also greeted warmly, it's a pleasure to meet you. Then Lee Minul approached and said, nice to meet you. I am Lee Minul. I heard that you Magic Saint's disabled, right? Before he could say more, Kim quickly shut him up. Then Kim turned to Lee Minul and said, I told you already, you can't just go around telling people stuff like that about yourself. But soon, Kim starts explaining everything about Lee Minul, saying, his name is Lee Minul, and his Dark Saint's disabled. That made Lee Minul furious. He snapped, hey! Didn't you tell me not to reveal this to anyone? So why did you just go and tell everyone yourself? Kim just shrugged, no, it's all fine. I did it on purpose. Lee Minul got even more annoyed. What kind of nonsense is this? Kim warned, don't talk to me like that. If you have something to say, go straight to your mentor. Then Kim introduced Suyo. This is Suyo. She's Magic Saint's disabled, still a high school exceller. And don't even start imagining she's some supermodel or something. Suyo blushed and laughed. Hey! What are you saying? I am about to graduate soon, you know. Finally, Suyo said, can you please stop treating me like a kid already? Kim chuckled and replied, all right. Enough introductions. Now it's time to get down to business. He continued, we three are going to participate in a contest. We'll have to fight, and the three of us, me, you, and Lee Minul, will represent our academy. Lee Minul enthusiastically, sounds good. Let's do this fight together. Suyo looked a little worried and asked, do you really think I can do this? Kim reassured her confidently, don't stress. The contest isn't happening anytime soon. Until then, Lee Minul and I will train you well. Lee Minul smiled and stood next to Suyo, that guy's right. Plus, we're friends now, so I've got your back. Just then, Shun called Kim over and said, if you have decided to join the contest, first things first, you need to think of a team name. Have you thought of one yet? Kim scratched his head nervously and said, yeah, I do have a name in mind. Everyone turned to look at Kim, their eyes practically burning holes through him. Kim suddenly felt awkward and asked, why are you all staring at me like that? Then Lee Minul said, all right, if you have decided, then you officially our leader. Suyo quickly added, yeah, you our leader now. Kim got excited and said, wait, me? I am the leader. Shun nodded in agreement, yes, you are. After all, you're the one who put this team together. Kim shrugged and said, well, if you say so, I'll accept it. But in his mind, Kim was thinking, man, I was only thinking about the contest. I never even considered having to come up with a team name. Kim then looked around at the Dream Hunter Academy and asked everyone, so, what do you think? How should our dream team be? Hearing this, Both Lee Minhyul and Suyo became really happy and said, "Yeah, that name sounds perfect. It has a great meaning too." Shun chimed in, "Definitely, it fits perfectly, Dream Hunter Academy's dream team." Kim smiled and declared, "All right then, our team name is officially set, the Dream Team. And our goal is simple, to win this contest." From that day on, Kim explained, their team's name started becoming famous. And just like that, the Dream Team began to spread its wings and grow stronger. After that, we see Kim scrolling through his phone, preparing for training. Meanwhile, Suyo is practicing her magic skills, and Lee Minhyul is busy training with his dagger. Watching all this, Shun mutters, "Honestly, I can't tell if they re-practicing or just playing some video game." Then, the scene shifts, and we get an explanation about the Red Battle. It's described as a special competition organized by private organizations, no government, no official associations involved. To put it simply, it's the guilds themselves who sponsor these contests. The reason is straightforward, guilds want to pick out the best students to support. Of course, many professional hunters work alone and don't belong to any guild, but they still form their own teams. The main focus here isn't about who's the strongest individually, it's all about the potential of the team and how well they work together. That's why they select the best students from these competitions, and the whole purpose of the Red Battle is to find the cream of the crop. The main reason behind all this is exactly why so many big associations, guilds, and hunters sponsor this battle. A huge amount of money is spent here, which draws lots of media attention. Even the organizers themselves come to watch the event live. But here's the catch, only those coming from League 1 or League 2 academies can participate. This is why so many hunters are eager to compete. Then, the scene shifts straight to the day of the battle. People are chatting, asking, "Is that Junk Sivu?" Suddenly, Junk Sivu's face appears on screen. Someone confirms, "Yeah, you absolutely right. But wait a minute, behind him is Park In-ju." They go on, joking about how complicated these names are. "I am going to mess up pronouncing these swordsman names." Then they mention Minju as well. The crowd gets amazed when they realize it's not just Junk Sivu who's here, his entire team has come along. All of them are from the Gun Academy, and remarkably, all three hold spots in the top 5 of their academy rankings. People start whispering excitedly, "This is crazy." Gun Academy has sent some of their most powerful members here. Everyone grows curious to see which members Hunter Mile Academy and L Academy will bring. Then, one guy in the group says firmly, "Don't tell me Lee Hyun is coming from Hunter Mile Academy." Right next to him, another person nods and asks, "Is this the one they say is the most powerful pro hunter in history?" A third voice joins in, "Yeah, I think it's finally time for him to make his appearance." Amidst the crowd, someone whispers, "I heard that even the 5 heroes disables are going to enter this contest." Another person immediately snaps, "Come on, don't joke with me. How can their disables even compete here? It doesn't matter at all why such great heroes would pick these useless disables." Meanwhile, their own dream team arrives. Lee Minhyul grumbles, "Hey, why is no one talking about our master here?" Kim shrugs and replies, "And why would they talk about me anyway?" Then, we get the rundown on round 1 of the Red Battle. The goal, defeat the 7-star monster Archne as quickly as possible. The faster you take it down, the more points you score. We see a guy named Lee Don, who belongs to the Aries Guild. He's currently a B-rank hunter. He watches as the Sudra Academy tries to clear the stage but fails, taking 37 minutes and 12 seconds, way too slow. Next, it's revealed that Nature Academy also failed the challenge. He was getting really frustrated now and said, "How on earth are so many people failing the first round?" Just then, a bald guy sitting nearby chimed in, "Of course." The difficulty this time has been ramped up way beyond before. And guess what? Jimin did some research on this dungeon. He explained that Jimin, who is Magic Saint's apprentice, had studied the dungeon thoroughly. There's even some artificial magic embedded in it, he added with a sly smile. Lee Don, overhearing all this, finally understood why so many contestants were failing. He thought to himself, "This time, my master is going to be seriously surprised." Meanwhile, I'll just watch what the remaining teams are up to. Soon after, it was announced that the first round had been cleared by the Gaiwan Academy. They clocked in at 30 minutes and 12 seconds. The crowd buzzed excitedly, chatting among themselves. "So Gaiwan Academy finally did it," someone said, "but what about Hunter Mile Academy and L Academy? What are they doing? The bald guy from before shrugged. Their time difference is huge. That's probably why they haven't cleared the dungeon yet. Suddenly, someone else exclaimed, "Hey, look!" Someone else cleared it too. The bald guy perked up. Really? Who? Hunter Mile or L Academy. But it wasn't either of those, it was their very own Dream Academy. Hearing this, the bald guy blinked in surprise. Dream Academy? I've never heard of them before. Well, whatever, let's just check how fast they cleared it. Everyone turned to look at the timer. It showed an amazing 9 minutes and 34 seconds. Both men were absolutely shocked. One of them gasped, "Wait, what? They cleared the dungeon in under 10 minutes. How is that even possible?" The bald guy, clearly suspicious, pointed at the machine monitoring the dungeon run and said, "Hey, check that machine. Maybe it's malfunctioning." He muttered, "There has to be something wrong with the machine. No way someone can finish this dungeon in 9 minutes flat." The man standing below the machine scoffed and said, "Give me a minute to check." After a brief pause, he said, "Sorry to disappoint, but there was indeed an error in the machine." Then the bald guy started talking again, "Just as I thought." Behind him, Levi nodded and said, "Yeah, I also felt something didn't quite add up. This just doesn't make any sense." The conversation continued, and the guy below the machine said, "The machine is showing a 30-second delay in the timing." Hearing that, both of them got even more curious and said, "Wait, what did you say?" The man below replied, "Give me 2 minutes. The real-time data will show up soon." After a moment, the screen finally updated, revealing that Dream Team had completed the dungeon in just 9 minutes and 1 second. Then the scene shifted to the 7-star monster, Archina, where we see someone effortlessly slicing through it. And guess what? The person doing all the slashing isn't just anyone, it's him, thinking to himself, if Mr. Ark hears about these monsters, he's definitely going to lose his cool. At this point, we get introduced to Instructor Ark, who teaches fresh novices at Transition Academy. Meanwhile, Kim says, "I'll only use my peers' help when the situation gets really dangerous." After that, we see a swarm of spider monsters throwing webs at Kim. Watching the webs fly, Kim calmly says, "All right, so this is the spider's web. Looks like it's really strong, and the lattice pattern is pretty dense too. But in the end, it's just a web, and there's no way it can hold up against my peer." Then, suddenly, someone rushes toward the spiders with lightning speed. It's none other than Lee Minuel, who effortlessly slices through the spiders one by one. Nearby, Suyo stands watching them battle the spiders. She thinks to herself, "These two are really fast. They don't even seem to be struggling to kill the monsters. And they haven't even used their full power yet." She clenches her fists and mentally decides, "I can't just stand here doing nothing. I have to do something too. Besides, I've been practicing a lot of spells recently." After that, we see Suyo casting her spell, causing thick roots to burst from the ground, crushing the monsters beneath them. It's then revealed that this is exactly how Dream Team managed to clear the dungeon during the nomination round. Lee Minuel turns to Kim and says, "Captain, every time I meet you, you surprise me. How do you move so fast? And whenever I see you, you seem to have grown so much. Are you not going to share your secret with me on how you grow so quickly?" Kim chuckles and replies, "Hey, calm down for once. And besides, what happened to all those weapons of yours? They were so many, where did they go?" Lee Minuel grins, "I threw them all away." Kim raises an eyebrow, "Wait, what? Why on earth did you throw them away?" Lee Minuel explains, "My master told me not to rely on so many weapons." Kim shakes his head in disbelief, "Well, that's one way to make a point. They didn't like it one bit, so that's why I threw away all those weapons. Now, all I have left are my dagger and this bow and arrow." Kim tells Minuel, "You should have used your bow and arrow first, not the dagger." But instead of answering, Minuel tells the team, "Actually, I had to protect Suyo first, so I used the dagger before the bow and arrow. When needed, I used the bow and arrow too." Then Suyo calls Kim and Lee Minuel over and says, "Why are so many people staring at us?" Meanwhile, from the side, the crowd is buzzing. Did this team really clear the dungeon in 9 minutes? How is that even possible? Is the machine broken or something? Someone in the crowd whispers, "That's Kim Sejuan, right? The guy who came first in Hunter Academy. And the one standing behind him must be Lee Minuel." We then see Kim staring at someone, thinking, why is that person looking at me like that? But the person says nothing and quietly walks away. Kim wonders in his mind, is that really Jan Sin? Lee Minul thinks to himself, wow, people are starting to recognize us now. Then Minul excitedly points and says, hey, look. That's our captain. Kim quickly cuts him off with a scolding, hey. Didn't I tell you to be quiet? After that, Suyo speaks up, saying, honestly, this is all getting really embarrassing. Then some people approach, asking, what's going on? Why is everyone making so much noise? Did they just find out about the amazing feats we have accomplished? We see 3 people, and the one in the middle proudly says, we are from the Greatest Hunter Academy, and we completed it in 31 minutes and 3 seconds. But no one pays attention to him at all. The poor guy gets so frustrated that tears well up in his eyes. At that moment, someone steps aside and says, excuse me, could you move a bit? We find out this person is from L Academy, and they finished the dungeon in 32 minutes and 24 seconds. And with this, the episode ends, marking the official completion of Season 1.